Hello, Bulldogs. Today we're going to talk a little bit about Animate and what is known as an F7 animation. For starters, I'm going to show you the finished product, and then I'll just show you a little bit about how I did each layer. Notice that we only have 4 layers up here. My first layer is called the background layer. I labeled it BG. Important to label your layers so you know what's where. I went ahead and just did something extremely simple, which is just a line here for my background and a couple of cactuses or cacti and a little snake hole here. Okay, my intro part of this project was you had to make a 20 frame intro, and I just put in some handwriting because the rule was you could not use the text tool, and just over a few frames typed out what mine was called. Mine is called the Santa Snake. Then I just started keyframing, and I have a little character here that I created each time, and I drew him a little bit, and then I pushed F7 and drew him again, and so forth. I'm going to show you how to do that in just a second. And after he kind of went through and did his sort of animation, which I'll show you at the end, I did a little outro. It says Merry Christmas, and animated by. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do each of these little layers really quick on a new layer. So here we go. This is my background layer, so I will label it BG. I'm going to insert some frames. This particular project was 240 frames. So I'm just going to click on 240 frames and insert the frames. And then to draw my background, I just draw a background. Mine was very simple. It was just a little rolling set of hills. Okay, after I do that, I made a little cactus. I'm not going to make a bunch of them. You just saw the picture, but let me just kind of show you how I got started. And then I just put little dots on this and so forth to make it look sort of like a cactus. And once you're done with your background layer, that's really all you have to do. Okay, make yours however you want to make your background. You're not going to use it anymore, and then lock the layer. I added another layer, and I made an intro. Now, on this intro that I made, I put, I went ahead, you can go ahead and turn the background layer off, insert a few frames. I said it had to be to 20. And here I just, with the paintbrush, just typed out what I wanted it to say. So I just said, the Santa, and I just typed in the, or I just hand drew the. Okay, you get the idea? Okay, so I clicked it here, and then I inserted a keyframe about here, and added the next word, and so forth. Okay, I'm not going to do all of it. You kind of get the idea. Then I added another layer, and on this layer, I went ahead and drew my creation. Okay, so I'm going to turn off the background layer, which was actually the title. Go ahead and turn that off, and we'll call this title. And then I inserted a keyframe where I wanted my animation to start, which is about frame 20. And this is where I'm going to create my animation. I did forget one thing here, and that was my little, go ahead and insert right here on my background. I forgot to draw my little snake hole. So let's just draw that real quick. I'll make it very simple this time, just a little black hole. Okay, and once you get that, you got to think of something to animate. I don't care what it is. Could be a stick figure, could be mine's going to be a snake, could be anything, but you get the idea. Okay, so let's go ahead and lock all those layers. And let's insert a keyframe. And this is where we're going to start our snake. So I'm just going to go over here and I'm going to draw a couple of eyes. And the only thing you need to think about with this particular layer is what can you draw over and over again a lot of times and be able to animate. Now, I thought a snake might be good. So I made a real simple snake. The more simple you make it, the easier it's going to be because then you don't have to redraw it. Or you don't have to, it's something that you can redraw lots of times. And I just drew my little snake in here. Okay, and then we push this little button right here. It is called the onion skin button. Now, the difference between what F7 animation does is each frame you're going to draw over again. So I'm going to push F7 on my keyboard, and notice that right next to my keyframe, it put in a blank keyframe. And with the onion skin set, it shows me where my previous frame was. Now you can adjust this bracket up here to show you more or less frames. I don't have any drawn, so it's not showing them. But here I know how to draw my next one. So I'm just going to draw my snake again. Okay, and you want to make it as close to what the other one looks like as possible. If you mess up, remember, you can always push the Control-Z button. Okay, and so now I'm going to make his head just a little bit higher up. So it looks like it's kind of coming out of the hole. Draw his little fangs. Okay, and now I have a little bit of an animation. This is a hand-drawn animation. Okay. So that's kind of how we do it. Okay. And you just go over and over again until you get as many frames as you want. I'm going to go back to my finished product here now that you know how I did that. And you can watch my full animation now that you know how to do one. Let's go ahead and watch it. Here's my title, 20 frames. There's my snake coming out of the hole, going back in the hole. Then he comes out, awkwardly blinks. Mr. Mouse comes out. He looks to the left. Merry Christmas. Looks at us like this mouse is crazy, and then takes care of the mouse. And then a quick animated by and who it is. Okay, so that's 240 frames total. One layer for your background, one layer for your title, one layer for your snake, and one layer for my rat. A total of 4 layers. Okay, and as you can see, it's pretty simply made. All you got to do is number 1, think of an intro. Very simple, just should be the title. Number 2, think of something you can draw over and over again, but remember, or actually step 1, make your background. And on your background, go ahead and make it very simple. Notice that I left a lot of white space where I could draw. Okay. And 2, your title. 3, your snake. Think up a cool little storyline. One of the rules we use is keep it simple. Okay. That is all there is to it. Think of a creative idea and see what you can do. Good luck.